Hey guys, welcome to Louvre Museum in Paris, France. The Louvre or the Louvre Museum is the world's largest art museum and a historic monument in Paris, France, and is best known for being the home of the Mona Lisa. A central landmark of the city, it is located on the right bank of the Seine in the city's premier arrondissement or district or ward. Approximately 38,000 objects from the prehistoric to the 21st century are exhibited over an area of 72,735 square meters. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the museum was closed for 150 days in 2020 and attendance plunged by 72% to 2.7 million. Nonetheless, the Louvre still topped the list of most visited art museums in the world in 2020. The museum is housed in the Louvre Palace, originally built in the late 12th to 13th century under Philip II. Remnants of the medieval Louvre fortress are visible in the basement of the museum. Due to urban expansion, the fortress eventually lost its defensive function, and in 1546 Francis I converted it into the primary residence of the French kings. The building was extended many times to form the present Louvre Palace. In 1682, Louis XIV chose the Palace of Versailles for his household, leaving the Louvre primarily as a place to display the royal collection, including from 1692 a collection of ancient Greek and Roman sculpture. In 1692, the building was occupied by the Académie des Inscriptions et Belles-Lettres and the Académie Royale de Peinture et de Sculpture, which in 1699 held the first of a series of salons. The Academy remained at the Louvre for 100 years. During the French Revolution, the National Assembly decreed that the Louvre should be used as a museum to display the nation's masterpieces. The museum opened on 10 August 1793 with an exhibition of 537 paintings, the majority of the works being royal and confiscated church property. Because of the structural problems with the building, the museum was closed in 1796 until 1801. The collection was increased under Napoleon and the museum was renamed Musée Napoléon. But after Napoleon's abdication, many works seized by his armies were returned to their original owners. The collection was further increased during the reigns of Louis XVIII and Charles X, and during the Second French Empire, the museum gained 20,000 pieces. Holdings have grown steadily through donations and bequests since the Third Republic. The collection is divided among 8 curatorial departments: Egyptian antiquities, Near Eastern antiquities, Greek, Etruscan, and Roman antiquities, Islamic art, sculpture, decorative arts, paintings, prints, and drawings. The Musée du Louvre contains more than 380,000 objects and displays 35,000 works of art in 8 curatorial departments with more than 60,600 square meters dedicated to the permanent collection. The Louvre exhibits sculptures, objets d'art, paintings, drawings, and archaeological finds. It is the world's most visited museum, averaging 15,000 visitors per day, 65% of whom are foreign tourists. The museum lies in the center of Paris, on the right bank, in the premier arrondissement. Until 1871, it was connected to the Tuileries Palace, which closed it off on the western side but was heavily damaged by fire during the Paris Commune of 1871 and later demolished. The adjacent Tuileries Gardens, created in 1564 by Catherine de Medici, was designed in 1664 by André Le Nôtre. The Louvre is slightly askew of the historic axis, or axe historique, a roughly 8-kilometer architecture line bisecting the city. The axis begins with the Louvre courtyard at a point now symbolically marked by a lead copy of Bernini's equestrian statue of Louis XIV, and runs west along the Champs-Élysées to La Défense and slightly beyond. The Louvre Palace, which houses the museum, was begun by King Philip II in the late 12th century to protect the city from the attack from the west, as the Kingdom of England still held Normandy at the time. Remnants of the medieval Louvre are still visible in the crypt. Whether this was the first building on the spot is not known, and it is possible that Philip modified an existing tower. The origins of the name Louvre are somewhat disputed. The Louvre Palace changed a lot over the centuries. In the 14th century, Charles V converted the building from its military role into a residence. In 1546, Francis I started its rebuilding in French Renaissance style. After Louis XIV chose Versailles as his residence in 1682, construction works slowed to a halt. The royal move away from Paris resulted in the Louvre being used as a residence for artists under royal patronage. For example, 4 generations of craftsmen artists from the Boulle family were granted royal patronage and resided in the Louvre. Meanwhile, the collections of the Louvre originated in the acquisitions of paintings and other artworks by the monarchs of the House of France. Francis acquired what would become the nucleus of the Louvre's holdings, his acquisitions including Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. At the Palace of Fontainebleau, Francis collected art that would later be part of the Louvre's art collections, including Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. The Cabinet du Roi consisted of 7 rooms west of the Galerie Napoléon on the upper floor of the remodeled Petite Galerie. Many of the king's paintings were placed in these rooms in 1673 when it became an art gallery, accessible to certain art lovers as a kind of museum. In 1681, after the court moved to Versailles, 26 of the paintings were transferred there, somewhat diminishing the collection, but it is mentioned in Paris guidebooks from 1684 on and was shown to ambassadors from Siam in 1686. By the mid-18th century, there were an increasing number of proposals to create a public gallery in the Louvre. Art critic Etienne Lafont de Saint-Yen in 1747 published a call for a display of the royal collection. On 14 October 1950, Louis XV decided on a display of 96 pieces from the royal collection, mounted in the Galerie Royale du Peinture of the Luxembourg Palace. A hall was opened by Le Normand du Tournhem and the Marquis de Marigny for public viewing of the king's paintings on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The Luxembourg Gallery included Andrea del Sarto's Charity and Works by Raphael, Titian, Veronese, Rembrandt, Poussin, or Van Dyck. It closed in 1780 as a result of the royal gift of the Luxembourg Palace to the Count of Provence, the future King Louis XVIII, by the king in 1778. Under Louis XVI, the idea of royal museum in the Louvre came closer to fruition. The Comte d'Angevilliers broadened the collection and in 1776 proposed to convert the Grande Galerie of the Louvre, which at that time contained the 3D models of key 45 sites in and around France, into the French Museum. Many design proposals were offered for the Louvre's renovation into a museum, without a final decision being made on them. Hence, the museum remained incomplete until the French Revolution. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of the history and facts of the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe so that you'll get notified in the next video upload. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of the video.